PCJ 3956.
Or are fighting to keep up with the cost of living.
Alright, so the driver BDN 910 PCJ 3956. Could you kindly move your vehicle now, please?
Each and every citizen. In this local government election, it means delivering vital services to your community.
Now we the people start crying out, we can't take it no more. So election day when you ink your fingers, you ain't see voting for.
Let's get to work again, cause we sick of time on the line. Let's get to work again, cause the country needs to strike.
Let's get to work again. Come on, people, you know it's true. Let's get to work again, cause the UNC works for you.
From there we start the engine. UNC
Check 1, 2.
Build a brighter future. Forward Green Island. Come on everybody, and you know it's true. It's like to start work again, and the UNC works for you.
Work nation. This is how we work.
We don't talk the talk, we just walk the walk. We don't make no joke when it's time to work.
We don't talk the talk, we just walk the walk. We don't make no joke when it's time to work. Let's get to work again, cause we sick of time on the
All right, a pleasant good afternoon, viewers on Facebook. Welcome to the United National Congress Local Government Election Special Edition Monday Night Forum from the battleground of Sandy Grande. And when I say battleground, I really mean a battleground. Coming down here this afternoon, evident were hundreds and hundreds of flags, and the UNC, not to be outdone, although the PNM seems to have an unlimited supply of funds on every pole a flag, but it's a real battleground. This afternoon at this meeting, the feature address, as usual, would be delivered by the Honorable Political Leader, Ms. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. The 8 candidates from the Sandy Grande Corporation would be presented, and if you stay tuned, you would get an opportunity to hear all 8 candidates who are going to be addressing you. Also speaking this afternoon will be the Deputy Political Leader, Jolene John and Khadija Amin. Very powerful women stage there. Also, you will hear from the Member of Parliament from this area, the Honorable Niwalo Hussein, and we'll also be hearing from the coordinator of the Toko Sandy Grande seat, Mr. Joseph Tony. We have a very special PowerPoint presentation to show you, and it's going to show you the various candidates and what they are up against with respect to the PNM and a little bit of statistics. So just before we go into this PowerPoint presentation, could you get the PNM video? That's the you're going to be, just before I do the PowerPoint presentation, I just want to show you how low or how distasteful the campaign, at least on the PNM side, has gone in this Sandy Grande area. Director, just show, and I believe this has a parental guidance warning and advisory that the language is very graphic and disgusting and frightening. But I just want to give you a peek into what type of campaign the PNM is running in Sandy Grande. Just show that clip there, Director.
Watch good. I come out to say my prayers in the fucking cemetery this morning. Jai Balakalamawa. Let's get complete. Kamla, you want to play your comment Grande? You comment Grande? I know you won Grande Corporation because you figure if you win Grande, you will win local election. But I tell you, I come for grave dot in your mother cunt this morning. You hear what I tell you? I'm going to bury you. You go dead. Take what I tell you. I want to make sure you will never win local election. I am telling you, all the walk you walk in Grande Friday and all the bag you give away Saturday, all what you try, darling, you ain't gonna make it. Grave dirt in your ass this morning. I am praying to the 7 dragons in the east to bite you. Kamla, you will not win election.
Yeah, that is how awful and how tense the battle is here in the very battleground zone of Sandy Grande. What we would like to show you here right now is a little PowerPoint presentation of the UNC presentation of candidates. So there you have it, the 8 candidates for the Sandy Grande Corporation. Now, what's the current situation with the Sandy Grande Corporation? We want to just show you a little graphic here that would indicate the current position. Okay, so put your eyes onto the screen here. As you can see, in the 2016 elections, the Corporation of Sandy Grande was an even tie, 4 UNC electoral districts and 4 PNM electoral districts. And you would look on your right hand side, you would see the 2019, you will see 00. If you want to see what those zeros would be, come Atlantic Computers live stream on Monday night for December 2nd, and we will be filling in those numbers there. So I'm going to get you a breakdown, a detailed breakdown of each one of the electoral districts in okay, so we have the seat of okay, so there, the graphic took a little while to come up there. The electoral district of Kamuto Tamana, currently being held by the UNC. It's listed here as a battleground district. We have the UNC's Anil Maraj coming up against Bagaloo. We have it listed as a battleground district because if you look at the graph, the bar chart on there, you would see there's very little separating the PNM from the UNC in the 2016 elections. The PNM has pumped a lot of money and a lot of resources and a lot of effort into the Sandy Grande district, and they are hoping to make up that ground. I want you to pay attention to that 44% figure there on the bar graph, and I'll tell you how significant that is. But that Kamuto Tamana, a battleground district. We have the Manzanilla, although here listed as a battleground district. The UNC would have won this particular electoral district by a wide margin. However, look at the percentage of voters that turned out there. It was 50%, which is kind of high for a local government election. So the UNC would do well to bring back out all those votes. However, it would also take the PNM a lot of effort to cover all of that grounds. Election night, we'll see. As I could tell you, the Sandy Grande Corporation appears to be a battleground. Sandy Grande Northeast, another battleground district. Here, the PNM would want to think that it's a safe, comfortable seat for them, but look at the percentage turnout on that night. It's 38%. Now, the political pundits is expecting that the average turnout for the 2019 is somewhere around 44%. With this 44%, should they get 44%? And that is applied across the electorate. And now I am using a particular model where the PNM's election machinery is usually well oiled. They usually get out their maximum number of voters. So assuming that they are not able to increase that amount of votes and a 44% turnout, I think Katrina, who is working the ground very hard, could very well secure enough votes to bring that seat of Sandy Grande Northeast home to the UNC. So, as I say, tune in to Atlantic Computers live stream on the night of December 2nd, and you'll get the latest news as it comes out of the polling station straight to you in your homes there. And we see a double battleground district, flaming hot red battleground district, almost nothing between the both parties. As a matter of fact, the difference between the PNM and the UNC was double digits, right? A third party, NSA, by Kishore Satram, who was a strong UNC, would have pulled some votes from the UNC. I know Satram is a good boy. He would probably bring back those votes to the UNC, and that should take the UNC over. And looking at the 40% turnout there, using the model that we just used, if it's 44%, then the UNC should get enough votes there. Nasser Hussain should be able to bring that seat home for Sandy Grande. As we say, it's a battleground. The results here could only be told on the night of elections. The electoral district of Sandy Grande South. It appears to be a comfortable seat for the UNC. It's 41%. Assuming our usual model that the PNM's machinery is normally working to its max, they would do well to increase their number of votes. But what is going against some of these PNM candidates, and this is just hearsay from people in the field, that the PNM is having a rough time in the field with their own supporters jeering and running them, right? Whereas when we watch at the UNC's motorcades and things, it's very vibrant and upbeat. So we should think that Calvin Sicharan, the UNC's candidate, should have no problem bringing this seat home for the UNC. Moving on to the electoral district of Valencia West. Now, the margin of victory between the PNM and the UNC is huge. Could the UNC's Joseph Thomas close that gap? What I want you to put your eyes on is that percentage of voters that turned out in 2016. It's 25%. 25% is a very low turnout. Assuming the regular turnout of 38% or 40% comes out, and assuming that the PNM's machinery is its usual effective, they don't seem to pull out much more votes. But I am saying all of this on the backdrop of some boundary changes in the Sandy Grande district. So these figures that I am speaking here could very well be thrown off. I personally found it very suspicious that the government tried to rush through this boundary changes before announcing the date for elections. So all this talk I am talking here could be off, but 25% is low. If we have a 40% turnout, Joseph Thomas should more than amass enough votes to take UNC past that PNM figure. So that's electoral district of Valencia West. Valencia East Toko, currently being held by Terry Rondon, who had promised to hang up his boots. I saw that he took back down his boots and he is back in the race. He is the one who has been saying he have been getting a lot of negative feedback in the field. It's been contested by Kerwin Charles of the UNC. Again, look at that figure, 24%. Should there be a 40% turnout, and assuming that the PNM's machinery, which has always worked good, they may not be able to bring out more than their 1,200 votes that they have there. So these extra votes that is anticipated to come out in a higher voter turnout should take Kerwin Charles above the PNM's 1,200 votes. As I say, this Sandy Grande is a very interesting electoral district, as the whole Sandy Grande electoral district is. And the final electoral district in the Sandy Grande Corporation is Vega de Oropuch, which is being contested by UNC's current councillor Anil Jutaram. It looks like an easy fight, but the margin of difference is very small. The PNM has employed very serious tactics, including Daryl Duku and his cemetery efforts, his cemetery dirt efforts. And I see the PNM's candidate Ravi Lakan, who not too long ago was a PNM, was a UNC. And we must also note that UNC's Colin Paratap, and I'm saying UNC's Colin Paratap because he has not resigned from the UNC, he is still listed as a member of the UNC, but he is helping with the PNM's campaign in this Sandy Grande Corporation. So that's a little tell of the tale of the action here in Sandy Grande. Director, you take us to some advertisements from the party and we'll come back to go stateside. So in the meantime, you could take in the advertisements.
A depressed economy, stagnant, lifeless. In just 4 years, the PNM has stolen the livelihoods of at least 63,000 people. Our economy is now 10% smaller. The PNM has failed to properly steer the country through a deep recession brought on by a downturn in the energy sector. The economy is being artificially kept alive by borrowing, accumulating more debt basically, and by depleting our hard-earned foreign exchange reserves. Public debt is the highest ever. International reserves are the lowest in 10 years. This is the ugly truth a new UNC government will meet on its first day in office. We must be prepared and ready to mobilize, wasting no time in getting to work to save our country. A new UNC government will have to bring our economy back onto a sustainable growth path, restart the diversification process away from the dominant energy sector, and restore trust in government. Diversification will happen under the UNC. Diversification will be the springboard from which we will create 50,000 new jobs in 5 years and double non-energy exports to $5 billion by 2025. The roadmap for turning our economy around is our National Economic Transformation Master Plan. Our plan is ambitious, but extremely doable. It's pro-business, yet has a human face. It respects the environment. We have devised our strategy around 12 prosperity engines spread throughout Trinidad and Tobago, which will ensure we stabilize, grow, and diversify our economy. We know what we want to do. 50,000 jobs in 5 years and doubling our non-energy exports to $5 billion by 2025. We know how we're going to do it.
Are you ready to get TNT working again? You see this finger? This finger can put a government in office, and this finger can move a government out of office. So put your voting finger next to the rising sun.
Let's get Trinidad and Tobago working again.
Chief, you know how long I looking to see if I could see you, Chief? Every time it rains, it's flood right through the whole country underwater. Last time it flooded, I almost lost everything in the flood, everything. And when it's not raining, it have no water in the taps. The taps dry like biscuit. So, Chief, what you could do to help us with water situation and flooding?
Here's an LED bulb.
Chief, a bulb? Chief, a bulb?
Another light bulb moment by Keith and Com.
Wait, boy, nothing to eat. Fridge empty. Food prices going high. Keith, you catch me this time, you know, the fridge empty, have nothing to eat. Taking my grocery money to pay for Shamfra phone bill? Nah, you see this talk done. Come December 2nd, I voting for the UNC.
Don't wait for the general elections. Vote them out now.
Let us get TNT working again.
Make sure the talk is done now. Time to start back the work now. All the talk done, all the talk done. Work nation. Make sure the talk is done now. Time to start back the work now. All the talk done, all the talk done. Work nation.
This year's local election is a very important one. Your vote counts. Our citizens face the trauma of not being able to send their children to school. They face the terror of not being able to put a meal on the table. They're tormented by threats of flooding every time rain falls. I urge you, do not ever give up hope. Do not ever stop believing that we can transform our nation and move our nation forward. And you can begin, we can begin on December 2. We can begin that journey of rebuilding our nation. And on December 2nd, to put your X next to the rising sun, let us get TNT working again.
You see this local government elections, I'm making sure to vote because I really fed up. I fed up how I never have water in the pipe. I fed up. Anytime it rain, everywhere is flood except for the reservoir. I fed up. I have to work hard to pay property tax, but the road outside my house still full of potholes. I fed up. How you just have to make sure and get inside your house before it get too dark or else. I fed up how everything in the grocery getting more expensive while my paycheck getting smaller and smaller. And most of all, I fed up of hearing the PNM government is talk. Well, on December 2nd, talk done. I vote in UNC because I want Trinidad and Tobago to start working again.
It's time to start work again and
Let us get TNT working again.
This is what I want you to know. Tell them we fed up, have them back alive. We fed up, cause them is wolf in disguise. We fed up, have them playing games, so we not voting them again. We fed up.
Don't wait for the general elections. Vote them out now.
In July 2019, our nation wept when 7 fishermen were brutally murdered in Orange Valley. But you know who didn't weep? Stuart Young. He ignored the cries of the families who had to scrape up money for helicopter fuel so a search could be conducted. You know who else didn't weep? Fitzgerald Hines. He said no member of the government could attend the funerals because the area did not have a PNM MP. You know who didn't care? Keith Rowley. He said nothing at all. We must never forget Orange Valley. We must never forget the PNM scorn and contempt for hard-working people. On December 2nd, vote them out.
Make sure the talk is done now. Time to start back the work now. All the talk done, all the talk done. Work nation!
For far too long, the PNM has abandoned the people of Pleasantville community, and I'm here to get Pleasantville working again. There's major issues concerning the grass being cut. Another issue is the speed bumps. Proper drainage, it needs to be cleared to control the festa of mosquito in Pleasantville community. They want proper play park for the children and a running track. On December 2nd, let's get TNT working again. Both UNC. Talk done.
Make sure the talk is done now. Time to start back the work now. All the talk done.
Yeah, so welcome back to the battleground zone of Sandy Grande for the United Nationals Congress public meeting LG 2019. In just a few minutes, we would expect to see the start of the UNC's meeting. I see all the speakers are there on stage. I am seeing Joseph Tony, who is the coordinator of the Sandy Grande, Coco Sandy Grande seat and coordinator of the Sandy Grande Borough Corporation election effort. I am seeing a member of the public is so elated. He is on the podium dancing, waving his flag as if catching the power. I guess they're almost about to start, so we'll take you to stateside.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
to United National Congress Work Nation live in Sangre Grande. We now have the House Rules by Angie Benjamin.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen, and again another warm Wonderful. Good night. Tonight we have some simple house announcements. Your washrooms are to my left. In case of an emergency, you are not to assemble to my right. You are to exit. We have two exits, one on my right and one to the back of the playground, the car park here. And you are to exit on the street at the back of the car park, which is your back. We also have a medic team on site tonight, Dr. Rai and his team. And should any of you in need of medical care, we would like you to just raise your hands and we'll take care of you. That being said, I would like to say enjoy your Sandy Grande meeting.
Job done. Work nation.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, will we have your attention for the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago? We now have a prayer by Susan Holder.
Pleasant good night to my UNC family. Let's bow our head and close our eyes in prayer. Our God and Father, Creator of the universe.
Can we have Dr. Rai urgently? I think someone needs medical attention in the audience. Dr. Rai, at the front of the audience. At the same time, we need the video operator at the back. The video operator for JLOS Productions, we need you at the back urgently.
Okay, so there's a little pause in the proceedings here.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Holder. You may continue.
The medical people attend to
Our God and Father,
someone.
Creator of the universe. We lift our proceedings before you this evening in prayer, and we invite the Holy Spirit in this place. Father, I lift our political leader, Ms. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, oh God, in prayers. Asking, oh God, tonight for a special anointing upon her, God. Father, you know the race that is set before us. Father, and I know, God, that you are able to take charge. Father, tonight I lift the 8 candidates of this region before you, O God, and pray. Asking, O God, tonight that you go before them, God. Father, this coming week, God, Father, you know how tedious the task is. Father, you go before them. Take the lead, God. Give them what it takes, God, to run this race, I pray. Have mercy, O God, this evening. Father, so that when they go forth, God, they would touch the hearts of the undecided burgesses of this region, God. Father, so at the end of this race, we would have the victory and we would claim that corporation, that our burgesses will be served, O God, and serve as they're supposed to be served, God. In no other name, I give thee thanks, O God, this evening. And I say amen and amen.
Okay, before we begin, the drivers of PCS 4360 and PCN 7807, PCX 4360 and PCN 7807, remove your vehicles. Thank you.
Make sure the talk is done now. Time to start back the work now. All the talk done, all the talk done. Work nation!
We fed up by these people and all the bag of lies and everything that they're doing wrong, they're trying to disguise. Always pointing fingers, never wanna take the blame. We frustrated now, don't want no more, and we ain't taking it again.
Let's get to work again, cause we're sick of them on the line. Let's get to work again, cause the country needs to shine.
Let's get to work again. Come on, people, you know it's true. Let's get to work again, cause the UNC works for you.
This is a chance to show Rowley enough is enough. They must go, Rowley must go, and all of them must go. This is a chance. You have had enough of their empty promises. You have had enough of their incompetence and their arrogance. The worst corrupt government in the history of Trinidad and Tobago.
We don't talk the talk, we just walk the walk. We don't make no joke when it's time to work. Let's get to work again, cause we're sick of them on the line. Let's get to work again, cause the country needs to shine.
Let's get to work again. Come on, people, you know it's true. Let's get to work again, cause the UNC works for you.
But they know the people have turned against them. They are now like cornered and wounded animals politically.
Work nation.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the coordinator for Toko Sangre Grande, Joseph Tony.
Madam Political Leader, on your way to this meeting, Member of Parliament for Kumuto Manzanilla, candidates all, and in particular my dear candidates in the Sangre Grande region sitting on the platform here tonight, brothers and sisters of the United National Congress, good night to all and welcome to the Sangre Grande region. Whether you have just come to pave roads in Sangre Grande Northwest, whether you have just come to offer 20 days work at the URP for our unemployed in this area, whether you have just come to offer house repair grants, whether you have just come to offer food cards, whether you have just come to build LSA houses, whether you have just come to build box trains from Valencia to Toco, whether you have just come to build the highway from the middle of nowhere to Kumuto in one instance and to Mantelina in the other instance, I say welcome. Welcome all to the Sangre Grande region. But I have a warning for those who just came and who at the 99th hour, at the behest of this wicked PNM Rowley regime, want to come to the Sangre Grande region to fool the burgesses here with trinkets. We say that we know all your tricks. We know all your antics, and we shall not be fooled in the Sangre Grande region come next week Monday. We shall not be fooled. We know what we have to do next week Monday because we are fed up. In Diego Martin, the burgesses, they're fed up. In Port of Spain, the burgesses, they're fed up. Sawan Lavantil, fed up. Tunapuna Piaco, they're fed up. In Arima, they're more than fed up. And you know why they're fed up? They're fed up of the false promises of the PNM. They're fed up with the mamagai of the PNM. They're fed up with the hypocrisy of the PNM. They're fed up of the corruption of the PNM. They're fed up of the uncaring attitude of the PNM. They're fed up of the bad mind of the PNM. They're fed up of the spitefulness and the vindictiveness of the PNM. They are fed up of the lies of the PNM. Yes, brothers and sisters, we all fed up. But because you're fed up, I don't want you to sit down home over the next week. Get up and get. Don't just remain complaining in the bus or the maxi or in your living room or in your sitting room and you're only complaining. Get out. Help the UNC candidate in your electoral district. Get out with your friends, your family, your neighbors. Get together, pull yourselves together, and go to the polling booth and vote them out. Let us all act in unison, brothers and sisters. Let us all act to ensure that we rid ourselves of the shackles of despair and doom in which we have found ourselves since the arrival of the PNM regime. Next Monday, brothers and sisters, at this time, if you do your duty at the voting booth, all of us will be singing praises throughout the land. Hallelujah, hallelujah, deliverance has come. So make what I want to leave with you tonight, my most important message. Make use of this week. Make sure you know where you have to go and vote. Make sure you have your ID card with you. Make sure that if you want transport, get in contact with your candidate. If you want a special time, organize. And when you go to that booth, brothers and sisters, put your X next to the rising sun so that Sangre Grande Regional Corporation will have a UNC chairman once more. Thank you, welcome, and good night.
Na 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 na. Everybody must work. Whoa, work.
Job done. UNC Work Nation, welcome the candidate for Valencia East Toco, Cohen Charles.
Na 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 na. Everybody must work. Whoa, work. Everybody must work.
I say a pleasant good night to the head table. Yeah, I say a pleasant good night to the head table, to my fellow candidates, and the UNC family. Good night. As they say, look at people. Right, let's get on to serious business. This is my note that I have with all my issues. So I'm reading from my note, right? Right, we started with Valencia because my electoral district is Valencia East Toko. I will give two problems from each community. Valencia, there's a ground in New Valencia that the people say that they ask for light and they want to name it after Kevin Marcus. So I told them if they elect me as the next councillor, they could assure that it's done. Kumak Road need to be paved. It will take you about 5 hours to get to Kumak. And you wouldn't want to come back out, you will call for a helicopter. That is how bad the road is. Then we moved to Matura. There's a road named Thomas Road. There are plenty of young people live there without current. So as I told them, I saw the plight and feel the pain. I said, here what? Once you elect me as your next candidate, as your next councillor, I, Kerwin Ezra Joseph Charles, will make sure that you get current. Then we moved to Church Street. That's same in Matura. There are over 70 people living in that area and no water. How could we have little children without water? And we depend on the regional corporation to send water ever so often. That is not reality, because at this day and age, you can't have people suffering for water, something essential as water. So once they elect me as the next councillor for Valencia East Toko, that is a next problem that I intend to solve. Then we moved to Sally Bay. I'll put Sally Bay and Valencia together. That is the most two neglected areas in the whole of Valencia East Toko. There's a trace named Sally Bay Matura Trace, where the waterfall is. Every weekend, people goes up there to hike, and it is very deplorable. It has no water, it has no light. There are things we can put there to encourage tourism. Right? Besides that, work problem, infrastructure, drain, it's a problem. When you pass on the block, you see young people sitting down liming, smoking. It is hard. Because at the end of the day, if we don't give the young people hope, we will lose them. Before I leave, I want to tell you something. 2 ministers came up to Oko. You know, I tell them, I said, well, then Kerwin Charles had to be good. For 2 ministers to come on a platform to talk nothing of concern because they had no plan. You know, my mother told me when I was growing up, it's two things. A young man have dream and an old man have vision. His vision, hear what he's saying now. You know, I had a dream to do this, but he never did it. So he only living on my vision. At 24 and a half years, as a councillor, you did nothing. 6 years as the chairman, you still did nothing, and you're telling the people, all I can say, I did wrong, but I am sorry. But you know why he go back? It's not because they call him back in a street contract he get, and $60,000. So hear about the people, hear about things for his pocket. And guess what? Tell them I have clothes and I'm a lawyer ready so we can go. So, before I go, I want to tell you one thing. Come the 2nd of December, is that no if but or maybe? As I tell them before, it's not only current alone that shock people. I am going to shock people because I will be David and he will be Goliath.
Make sure the talk is done now. Time to start back the work now. All the talk done, all the talk done. Work nation.
Good evening, good evening. Good evening to our political leader who is on our way. Good evening for the candidates. Good evening to our MP, Christine. Good evening, Deputy Political Leader, Jolene John. Brothers and sisters, let us get right into it. Election is just a few days away. And let us remember all the hard work that we put in for the past couple weeks into the last month. Brothers and sisters, let this work not go in vain. Let us come out on election day and work like we never worked before. Let us make it our purpose to vote the PNM out of the Grande Regional Corporation. Let the United National Congress take control that was once rightfully ours, the Grande Regional Corporation. Brothers and sisters, Grande South! Grande South! I'm hearing earlier! Grande South, victory! Victory on December the 2nd. I thank you.
UNC Work Nation, welcome your candidate for Valencia West, Joseph Thomas.
Pleasant good night. Deputy Political Leader Jolene John, Madam MP, Ms. Christine Uwalo, and Coordinator for Toko Grande, Mr. Tony Joseph, fellow candidates. It is indeed a great pleasure to be here tonight. But let me tell you something. I live in Valencia. I have dams around me, and I can't tote water to bathe when the day comes. Right? No water to drink, no water in the taps. But the water going as far, all in Digo get me water. You see how lucky I is? And we can get it right here in Valencia. Right? We're going through some things here. I don't know if these people feel we really stupid and truth, you know. I driving up the road one day. I see the road well paved on a side street. I say, Papa, let me drive in. You know, about 100 yards inside, I drop in a pothole. They only pave in the front where the people could see past it. So as you go down in the street now, it's back to the pothole again. Then people don't care about me. It's about time people wake up. Gone are the days when you could put a frog in a red jersey and people vote for them. You know? People don't want to hear that no more. This is people's livelihood you're playing with, people's lives, people's children and grandchildren, right? You don't have a proper school. And when school closed, school open back, the school still are prepared. How much time they need to prepare these schools? We have a farming community in Valencia. And when a farmer plant his goods, he had to go and fight down in Macoya 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to try to sell a little tobacco pepper, a little, you know. That is ridiculous. We have a little place in market, market in Valencia, a farmer's market. Prepare the place properly. People could come and sell wholesale. We could even do a little, we could processing plant, right? Where people could process, the label the products, and be able to market it right there. Valencia is the driveway to the northeast coast, right? We should have a label. When you go penal, everybody you go penal for doubles. Valencia is the first place came out with this barbecue pigtail. Let me make that a brand for Valencia, so everybody come to Valencia to know, well, hey, we're looking for a pigtail. You understand? And we market that. We have fruits, vegetables, we can make homemade wine, so many things that could be done, but there is nothing, no sort of thing for the people in the community. We had the youth sitting on the block, nothing to do, no work, right? Let me create some sustainable jobs, create some kind of employment for the youth so that they have a reason to come off the block, try to elevate themselves. We're going through this for too long, and as we talk, they shut you down because you know what? You're in the country, you're nobody to them, right? These people in this PNM government, they really don't care about we at all. It's about time we stand up to them and put back this regional corporation. Because UNC, everybody must work. But come, and let me tell you a little something, We don't want to support again, Time for support done. Support don't win election. We want votes now, Come out and vote on the 2nd. Don't tell me supporting you. And the second you sit down home and the ball, we don't win already, so I ain't going. That they're counting again. You need to go there. I'm not 2 minutes long, but ladies and gentlemen, I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the program. And thank you.
Everybody must work. Whoa, work. Everybody must work.
UNC Work Nation, welcome your candidate for Komuto Tamana, Anil Boharaj.
Everybody must work. Whoa, work.
A pleasant good night to each and every one. I didn't see anybody from Komuto Tamana wrong. Anybody there? My people, I'm grateful of you. Good evening, my brothers and sisters. Allow me to recognize the best Prime Minister that Trinidad and Tobago ever had. On our next Honorable Prime Minister, Kamla Persad-Bissessar. And Dr. Bissessar. All protocols observed. My supporters of the United National Congress, the people of Sandy Grande and Komuto Tamana, a pleasant good evening to one and all. I am here this evening to let you know that I understand what we are going through. I understand the hurts, I understand the cries, I understand that you have been humiliated, neglected. I understand that you are fed up. I understand that they treated you badly. Enough is enough. And coming December the 2nd, we will get our solution. We will get our solution. We will come out in our numbers and vote the rising sun. Vote for good governance. Vote for someone who can listen to you at any time, not only on election time. They all do that. The PNM, they all do that. Vote for a leader who is democratic. I am not here to make empty promises, but my people, I say to you, vote for the UNC is a step forward for a greater future. There is a saying from the great Mahatma Gandhi, the future depends on what we do in the present. So let's create the future by making the right choice. Let's vote for the United National Congress. My brothers and sisters, we need jobs, we need roads, we need water, we need electricity, we need proper drainage. Our children need laptops, and they are not giving it to us. Our people have been neglected, and we are suffering for too long. It's time to put an end to that pain. And the only hope we have is the rising sun. Right? A great country deserves a great leader, and our leader is ready to take care of you. Each vote counts. Seat by seat, we will take back our country. We will rise above hardship. We will rise from the pain. We will rise above all the negativity. We will rise from all the negativity. We will rise and be strong before. On December 2nd, we will rise and the sun will remain rising as we take back our nation. Let us together, work nation, UNC works for you.
And if you're not loaded, then you gotta be joking.
UNC Work Nation, welcome your candidate for Manzanilla Fishing Pond, Kenwin Phillip.
Everybody must work.
UNC family, good night. I hear all ya. UNC family, good night. I know you all ya. Our political leader who is on our way, and the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Ms. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, MPs,
fellow candidates, media, the police who is guarding us here today, and you, my fellow candidates. Tonight, I must say I am UNC and I am proud. Are you UNC and proud? My friends, tonight, I could have been on any platform. My favorite color is yellow, yes. But tonight I stand here because I believe on the principle on which this party was built on, the United National Congress. I believe in our political leader, and I believe in you on election day that you will do your part. My friends, I am a sitting councillor presently in the San Grande Regional Corporation. And we always hear them say that the San Grande Regional Corporation is the poorest region. And I'm sure you all hear that before. But to me, we are not poor in riches, and we are poor in thinking, because the PNM don't have what it takes to carry the San Grande region forward. My friend, we are a rural community. We are a rural community. People depend on truck-borne water, and we have 2 trucks to service 80 electoral districts. When the truck come in my area on a Monday, and I service one end of my area, another set of area remain unattended to. And when it come back on the following Monday, the area what I give the last Monday remained without. And this is the vision of the chairman of the San Grande Regional Corporation. And I want to ask her here today that if you're doing one thing over and over again, if you expect to get a different result. My friends, in order for you to get a different result, you got to take a different approach. And that will happen on December the 2nd when we put Katrina for Northeast. When we put the old man in the business for Northwest. We put Calvin Sicharan for San Grande South. We put Arnold Chotram for Vega de Opuch. We put Arnold Marad for Komoto Tamana. We put Cohen Charles for Valencia Istoko. And we put my good friend here for Valencia West. And we put yours truly for Manzalena Fishing Pond. My friends of Manzalena, I stand here as your humble servant, asking you, when you go to the polls on December the 2nd, don't vote on race, don't vote on tribal politics, vote for a party who cares for you, the UNC. Talk done.
Na, 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 na.
Sangre Grande North, your candidate, Nasser Hussein.
Na, 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 na. Everybody must work. Whoa, work. Everybody must work. Work hard.
Madam Political Leader, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. She's on her way now. I'm sure she's hearing me. Members of the head table, fellow candidates, brothers and sisters of Trinidad and Tobago, a pleasant good evening to you all. Are you ready for election day? I am not hearing you. Are you ready for election day? Be ready. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Nasser Hussein. I lived all my life in the electoral district of San Grande Northwest. I resided at Picton Road, Coca, and presently at Gomez Street, San Grande. I attended the San Grande Hindu School, and in those days, it was known as the Kutia. Anybody know about the Kutia? Nice. It is now named the Sant Nagar Hindu Temple. I attended Northeastern College and the San Grande Hindu College also. I did my tertiary education at ECIAF, the Eastern Caribbean Institute of Agriculture and Forestry. During my walkabouts I saw so many ills, so many hurt of the people. I feel the pain, I feel the hurt for the neglect and misrepresentation by the councillor that we have now and previous councillor. So that's 6 years of 2 councillors, 6 years consecutively. in the Maniklan and Blake Avenue extension, Koka, Madura Drive, Farm Road and Wabande, there is presently a lot of roadworks going on, and it's haphazard. It's all over the place. There is no drainage in Maniklan, and they are paving the road, right? Imagine they actually paved a dog. Imagine that. They continue to do these things with no drainage at all. I am telling you, they cannot fool you. People of Wabande, Koka, Maduri, Farm Road, all these Blake Avenue extension, don't be fooled, okay? Imagine little or no drainage. Last year's flooding caused a disaster for residents of Ramdas Street, Picton Road, Good Hope Street, Adventist Street and surrounding areas. And to this day, no drainage work has been done. Are you fed up of the P&M? Yeah. I'm not telling you again. Are you fed up of the P&M? The time has reached for us to remove them. December the 2nd. Okay? I am now a retiree. I have nothing else to accomplish in my life except to serve you all. I pledge to bring a better quality of life to all my residents in Northwest Conservancy and to all those persons who are ill, who are disabled. I tell you, I'm going to visit you again. And finally, as I take my leave, I want to thank our honorable and respected political leader for giving me the opportunity to serve my community. Please, as I give her my promise tonight, that on December the 2nd, 2019, I will win the so-called marginal seat of Sangre Grande, Northwest, for the United National Congress. We're going to do it together.
Everybody must work.
And remember, after December the 2nd, it would no longer be a marginal seat. Therefore, allowing the UNC to take control of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation. Long live the UNC. Long live our political leader, the Kamla Persad-Bissessar.
Everybody must work.
UNC Work Nation, let's welcome your candidate for Vega de Oropuch, Anil Jutarang.
Everybody must work.
Honorable political leader and next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Ms. Kamla Persad-Bissessar and Mr. Gregory Bissessar. Deputy political leaders, members of NATEX, MPs, senators, local government soldiers, all of you, ladies and gentlemen, members of our campaign team, children, members of the police service, members of the media. I stand here before you today as your humble servant, saying thanks to the united people of Vega de Oropuch for your patience, love, and understanding. Despite the numerous challenges and arrows thrown in my direction, the bigger picture was always you, the people that I represented. Central government deprived my area of timely releases, materials, employment, basic repair works, no checks still for flood victims. Just look at our stockpile in the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation. It has been empty for the last 3 years. I would like to thank all those NGOs, corporate people, my political leader, and members of our party that helped me during my 16 days ordeal of flood relief in our area of Vega de Oropuch and by extension Sangre Grande. Central government and the ODPM did nothing for me and my people that I represent. All those corporate people that answered my call through letters, begging them for materials to help fix my roads, I said, thank you. Imagine today, we have a minister calling Budu Highway an orphan road. When they come to ask you for your vote in Budu Highway, you know what to tell them. Would you believe when Vega de Oropouche and the entire region of Sangre Grande was flooded out on the 18th of October 2019, no minister saw it fit to ask, what help do you want or what can I do for you or your people? Instead, Keith Rowley, Rohan Sanan and Kazim Hussein came, they took a picture in front of the Sangre Grande police station and they sped off in the black Prados. Public relations and nothing to deliver. Despite the regular PNM caucus to stop me from speaking out, I stood my ground and will always continue to stand up for you, the people. At our last statutory meeting in the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation, they all wanted me to apologize for saying central government is oppressing some of the UNC councillors in the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation. And I am saying, why should I apologize when a man could laugh and mock poor people and said he raised fuel once, twice, 3 times, and nobody rioted. When the chairman of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation, Mr. Martin Terry Rondon, could stand up in his hometown in Matlot at a statutory meeting and raise his hand up in the air and say he's fed up, he's not getting any assistance from this government, he thrown his hat out, he's not going back up as the councillor. He said people that he played Santa Claus for, little boys that he gave toys, right? Today those little boys cursing him because they are not delivering in Matlot. Should I apologize for that? The time has come for us to unite, all hands on deck, and let us take back our country. Let us take back our town, our region. On December 2nd, the UNC must take control of the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation. We must expose the PNM for the lack of funding, for holding our people to ransom. No more handsy-pansy. We are taking out the kid gloves. The PNM-led corporation is silent on the inefficiencies of central government, and by extension, we are suffering. This region is suffering. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to be our brother's keeper, and we have to stop this pretending. Let us come together. The PNM people in their hearts are suffering. They are in their hearts, they are suffering. Let us please unite, forget our differences in the past about any other councillor, any other MP didn't do anything for us. We need to put Ms. Kamla Persad-Bissessar as our Prime Minister, and let us start the ball rolling by taking the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation on December the 2nd, and we look forward to sweeping the general election come 2020. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
UNC Work Nation, Sangre Grande North, your candidate Katrina Charles.
Everybody must work. Everybody must work.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of Toko, Sangre Grande and environs. Our political leader, mass media, all protocols observed. This evening, I stand before you as the candidate for Toko Sangre Grande Northeast in the upcoming local government election, which is just mere days away. As you look around, you would notice the spur of moment delivery taking place by the present government. I want you to ask yourself this question of what was keeping back their same efforts as they are scampering now to facilitate your needs. Try to place in your minds, this is not an ethical warfare to create a mirage of their incompetence. All they do is point fingers, never wanting to take the blame. We are here this evening to solidify that we are fed up. Our roadways are in a deplorable conditions. Our pathways are leading to many tourism sites. The Toko Main Road, the Matla to Sangre Chiquito to the Manzalina, all bear visibility of generate the level of tourism within this region? Is it because they look to us as alienated and adopt us now as their children on the brink of an election? Our roadways are narrow, yet still they turn a blind eye to eliminate the traffic congestion along the Ojo Road vicinity of the Grande Hospital. It is horrible. There needs to be absolutely no parking along the roadway. This would help eradicate the volume of motionless traffic at times. The residents of the northeastern Pine Settlement are also experiencing expenses to their vehicle as a result of poor infrastructure. In 2018, our community, and by extension Trinidad and Tobago, was greatly affected by a mass flooding where many persons were affected and some are yet to be compensated. 2019, at the same time approached. Were we ready if this was to reoccur? Or are we a reactive rather than proactive government? Where is there in place to prevent such? Our drainage systems are poor. Residents are complaining and concerned about their health. This is the responsibility of the regional corporation to ensure that these matters are addressed. Simple things are requested. Street lights about to bring about a transparency within the community to give a level of comfort, security. Police mobile will also bring about a sense of safety while it also curb a number of illegal activities. Speed bumps to reduce the speed limit of drivers. When it comes to unemployment, a number of persons do not have jobs based on retrenchment, lack of qualification, overqualification, limited resources, biases, and total neglect. Our youths are suffering. And you know what they say? Them don't want anything good, but I beg to differ. There are many youths who want betterment. I am a living example. Currently, I'm pursuing a degree in the field of criminology and public safety. And mind you, I am unemployed. So I share the sentiments of unemployment. What provision has they made to open avenues for many of us? Instead, they clamp us down by cutting the opportunities that existed for betterment. In 2015, their team was, let's do this. We are yet to see what they meant. 2019, they're getting it done. My perception of these two is the plan on destroying us, and that I am sure they were successful at doing. But I stand before you tonight, publicly saying that all talk done. No more broken promises. They had no pragmatic solution in dealing with the issues and challenges that we faced. I am not here to do as the past councillor, only to solicit your vote and abandon you. I am here to deliver and to do so fairly. The roads would be paved. The street lights would be installed. The drains will now have course flow rather than being stagnant. There would be a free flow of traffic, water in your taps. There will be measures in place to assist with the crime situation. Community development, education, certification, recreational enhancement, and employment. I would automatically become a member of your home. In Sunday lunch, if there isn't anything to eat, to accommodate me, we head to the market. My presence will be felt throughout the district. They try to discredit our leader, but here they have a leader dancing to gunman in what? I would like to know, and I would like to let them know, come December the 2nd, is UNC we voting at the poll. The reign of Mr. Paul Mongolos will come to an end, and the people will now have quality representation. All talk done. Talk done. Na, 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 na.
UNC Work Nation. Let's welcome the Member of Parliament for Kamuto Manzanilla, Christine Nualo Hussein.
Everybody must work. Whoa, work. Everybody must work.
I am accustomed to working with a political leader who works very hard and delivers. I welcome on the way my esteemed political leader, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, and our deputy political leaders, all our candidates and soon-to-be councillors, all you absolutely wonderful people in yellow, you are family! And to the members of the media, I just want to cut to the chase and tell you, this nefarious government is attempting to hoodwink you into believing that they care. You know, this is how they care. Anybody here from Plummeton? Yeah, Plummeton. You all would know Indra, and I have Indra's permission to say this by the way. Indra lives near a community center. Indra is incapacitated and has been so and received a food card to take care of herself and her son. You know they cut the food card? And they cut a lot of people just because they don't know why. When you go in and ask, what's the problem? You have to reapply, but no indication as to why. They cut a lot of elderly, their pension, and their public assistance. They're coming in my office and asking, MP, what it has happened? And I find it passing strange that mere days before an election, that these grants would be arbitrarily stopped. It makes me wonder, is this government putting psychological warfare on the most vulnerable in this country? And you must begin to say, no, I will not tolerate it. And you must come out and vote the United National Congress, because that is the only party that can take you out of this mess. Could you imagine this PNM government so bankrupt of ideas? You know, they come to offer my employee a URP contract for 3 years. And on top of that, here the punchline. He had to go on the platform and badmouth me and the party. Let me tell you something. I had to tell him, and I will tell all you. Ask TSTT about contract. Ask Petrotrain workers about contract. These people only know about giving you a contract for whatever they want, and then the next day, trust me, Tuesday, right after elections, they're going to rip up that contract. Don't get fooled. All these years, they never do anything for you. All of a sudden, they care. Don't fool for that. I want to tell you, you need to throw your support behind every councillor here, every candidate here. They are UNC, and they will support every single thing that is in your interest. You are here, you heard them here tonight. And I stand here to support each and every one of them. Don't be fooled. You know, just this week on here, I got a call in late hours of the night. MP, you know, once of the big trucks rolling in here, they're coming to pave road. I look at the time, almost midnight. I say, but I come here, really come to look for some cocaine broom? Had to be. Who is pave road in midnight, in the dead hours of the night? But hear the joke, as though they didn't hear anybody talking to them, hearing them. They turn up back at Trace, and they say, oh God, this looks like UNC area, let me get out of here. I find that so disrespectful. So is only UNC's use road? Come on, man. But when the people come and ask you for their vote, ask them and tell them, what about Barker Trace? Why you don't pave that? Ask them about Tamana. Why you don't pave there? Ask them about St. Mary Emmanuel Road. Why you don't pave there? Ask them about Budu Highway. Why you don't pave there? Ask them about Kaiwal. Ask them about all of that. Why is it don't pave there? They're so disrespectful. Could you imagine? I fight for Veronica Road. because they didn't want to pave it. Same thing they say is an orphan road. I said, well, I got to tell the people, don't pay taxes then. Let me see how much orphan it is. You know, after I fight and get the road paved for them, they're walking up the road, it's PNM, we paved the road for you. Here's a lying dog. You ain't paved nothing. If I didn't fight for the people, they wouldn't have done it. Because the excuse was it's an orphan road. I have a ECC school in coal mine built by Tim Gopi Singh. 4 years it waiting to open. Why it isn't open it? Ask them when they come for your vote, why you don't open the school for the children. You tell them that. They're going to start to clean the Orapun River. Even so, they clean the river. They clean out all the trees from the riverbank and leave a mud pile waiting for a disaster waiting to happen. If you don't believe me, go down Dean Street and see. You will see something that you will be amazed and shocked at, that a government will do something like that and endanger the lives of people. And especially at a point when you're removing all sorts of grants. Would you believe, as the councillor said, since last year we had flood and people have not received any assistance for the flood victims. Some have not even received a visit. Every month are writing letters. Come when you come in. I'm coming. If I ask a question in Parliament, we'll do it at the end of this month. We'll do it at the end of this month. Well, how much months pass? It's over a year past. That's 12 months plus. That's how much is a year. Talking about months. And we talk about it. The minister said, Minister of Works, oh, I have a machine. It will be 24-hour day patching pothole. Where the pothole? You know how much pothole it takes for it to come down here? Where the 24 hours? Like what's that kind of animal? It's called it a 24 hours, not so? He needs to change the color, put on yellow, and come on this side, and we'll teach him about performance. We'll teach him about how to do work. I want you to remember that we are agricultural area here. Ask Clarence what he do for agriculture. He shut down Mappa farms. That is what he did for agriculture. You need to send this government a clear message. Come out in your numbers on Monday the 2nd and vote United National Congress. You have a history. You have a history to compare. You have the non-performance of the PNM, also known as promises never materialized. And you have the high performance and delivery of services under the astute leadership of Kamla Persad-Bissessar. We are UNC. We are UNC. We are UNC. And we work. We deliver. And so I conclude by calling every civic-minded person here and that will hear me across the airwaves. Come out on Monday, the 2nd of December, and support your UNC candidates. Forget about whatever it is you think. Everybody have favorites. You're a parent, and as a parent you have favorites, but that does not matter. At the end of the day, there's only one candidate can be chosen, and the party would have made the best choice for the nation, for each area, and you must understand that and respect that decision. At the end of the day, we must stand united. And so I call for you to support Manzanilla Fishing Pond, Kenwin Phillip, for Vega de Obush, Anel Juturam, for Sandy Grande South, Calvin Sicharang, for Komoto Tamana, Anil Maharaj, for Valencia, Joseph Thomas, for Sandy Grande Northwest, Nasser Hossain, for Sandy Grande Northeast, Katrina Charles, and for Topo, Cohen Charles. UNC works. Talk done. Talk done. Na, 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 na.
Ladies and gentlemen, UNC Work Nation Local Government Elections 2019. Let's welcome Senator Khadija Amin.
Work. You see me heavy work. You see me.
My UNC
UNC family in Sandy Grande, good night. My brothers and sisters, there is no doubt that the UNC works. The UNC has done more for the people of Trinidad and Tobago than any other government in this country. The UNC has done more for local government than any other party in this country. I served as a councillor in the United National Congress for 10 years. Local government is the arm of government that is closest to the people. Empowering local government takes more than legislation. When we were in government, between 2010 and 2015, I want to share with you a number of things that we did in government to deliver. Do you know that it was Kamla Persad-Bissessar who created history by providing all councillors with an office? And that office came with a secretary, petty expenses to operate the office, and that office is within your electoral district to better serve the people. We ensured that all regional corporations received monies allocated to them in the budget in a timely manner. We hired a full complement of chief officers, corporate secretary, financial officer, engineer, medical doctor, planning officers in every corporation to provide professional expertise and advice. My friends, you remember that when Kamla Persad-Bissessar was in government, the National Self-Help Commission fell under the Ministry of Local Government. It meant that in a time of disaster, flooding, if there is a house fire within the district, all councillors could immediately apply for a grant to rebuild or repair damaged homes for their Burgesses. Under PNM, that done, councillors could work with religious organizations and NGOs to apply for self-help projects to repair churches, temples, mosques, sporting clubs. You remember that? Residents themselves could come together and apply for material from self-help, and the residents would supply the labor to do the repairs, whether it is your roads, your box drains, and so on, in collaboration with councillors. All of these were ways that local government was empowered under Kamla Persad-Bissessar. The delivery by ministers under the then UNC government was done in collaboration with councillors for the area. There was no discrimination. We didn't used to do between UNC and PNM areas. We used to do based on needs. For example, the Ministry of Agriculture upgrading agriculture access roads, Ministry of Sports for sporting grounds. You remember that T&Tech lighting up recreation grounds. But at present, under the PNM, the contracts for many of those chief officers in the corporations have come to an end and the positions are vacant. Councillors have been evicted from their office because of the failure of this government to pay rent. What a shame that they can't pay $2,500 rent for a councillor's office, but you could pay millions of dollars to rent a building belonging to the Attorney General. What we have is neglect upon neglect. Instead, we have neglect and abuse of local government. Imagine after 3 years, even the PNM councillors are ashamed of their government because they have not delivered. The PNM is rushing to pave roads all over the country. Here in Sandy Grande, Nasser Hussain told you about paving in Blake Avenue and Babande and other areas. After all these years of muddy roads, they are rushing. I was there and we saw the inferior work. There is little or no drainage, and where there are drains, the concrete work is already collapsing. They are paving over mud in Sandy Grande. Do not be fooled. Nasser Hussain, when you become councillor, we have plenty road to fix over up there. Nasser Hussain will win Sandy Grande West. In their rush to pave Coal Mine Junction, Upper Kunapo Road has a wasser leak for the longest while. You know they pave over the leak and it's still leaking. The UNC councillor will be our candidate Calvin Cicheran in Sandy Grande South. And imagine a major road like Budu Highway in Sandy Grande neglected by the PNM. But I want to tell you, we have a dedicated, hard-working UNC councillor who stands with the people of Vega de Oropuch. Anil Jutaram will once again win in Vega. And I want to say to the people of Budu Highway, when they tell you about Orphan Road, just as they disown your road, disown them for election, tell them no vote for them, vote for Anil. Well, don't talk about Manzanilla. Manzan Posse, where you are, no, you like to make noise. Councillor Kenwin Phillip has been on the ground representing, battling the PNM to get things done in his area. You ever hear about promises never materialize? In Plum Road Junction, there's a retaining wall that collapsed. And it collapsed onto the road. And I want to ask Rohan Sinanan if he knows how many children on their way to school nearly get bounced since the last time he walked that area for the last local government election and promised the people to fix the retaining wall. And today, his promise has not materialized. Vote them out. When in the presence of a UNC councillor, the Minister of Works could tell the PNM Chairman Terry Rondon, we fixing PNM areas first. Well, at least they know Manzanilla is coming home to the UNC. We will win in Manzanilla with Kenwin. Every area in Sandy Grande, the people are fed up of the PNM. In Valencia East, everybody is going UNC with Joseph Thomas. Kenwin Charles in Toko, Katrina in Sandy Grande Northeast. The young people of Quastrace and all those areas who have been unemployed under the PNM, they don't want a handout. They want opportunities. And they are young, but they know that under the UNC, there were opportunities. They get the chance this time to vote for Katrina and make her their councillor. Katrina will win in Sandy Grande Northeast. And I'm so happy the Member of Parliament, Ms. Christine Nualo Hussain, mentioned the conditions of some of the areas in Kumuto Tamana. Here now, the PNM have no shame to go to areas like Karatal and Bonaire, and in fact the entire Didier Trace and all those areas. Listen now, the list of roads is so long. A man could fall in a pothole and lost in some of those areas. But Anil Maraj, we have plenty work to do when you win. The UNC will win in that area. My friends, we have seen so much intimidation and desperation from the PNM. And I want to say that the intimidation is a sign that the UNC is sweeping over Trinidad and Tobago. So, the PNM, you could jump high, you could jump low. The writing is on the wall. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are fed up with the PNM. The people of Trinidad and Tobago know that the UNC works. The people of Sandy Grande region are ready to vote for the UNC. 4 years of talk. Come December 2nd, all talk done. No amount of cocaine, broom or holy water could help the PNM. That does not put food on the table of those who are hungry. That does not give jobs to the people who are jobless. Sandy Grande, are you ready to vote United National Congress? Let us go onward to victory.
Work. To me, I be work.
Job done. Work nation. One more day in the struggle. I'll pick it up on the jungle. You don't know. Round a little sugar no fun. We not see the trouble no man. Oh, said I had a close one yesterday. Jah put an angel over me. Be strong. All of her meditation. One day things must get better. Don't you go down, keep your head above the water. Say one day things must get better. Be strong. Say all of her meditation. One day things must get better.
UNC Work Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Deputy Political Leader of the United National Congress. Welcome, Jolene John.
Man, when the riches increase, I say, be not grieve. Riches are not forever. Every not the oppressor, choose none of his ways. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Only Jah you must praise. Strive not with a man without a cause. If he have done you no harm, let bygone be bygone. Said I had a close one yesterday. Jah put an angel over me. Be strong. I say, well I've heard meditation. One day things must get better. Don't you go down, keep your head above that water. One day things must get better. Be strong. I say, well I've heard meditation.
Thank you UNC, thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Honorable Political Leader, MP Christine Nwalo Hussein, our Senator, all of our candidates, what powerful contributions. We're ready for the road. UNC, we're ready for the road. Here you are in your great numbers. This is what you call a crowd. This is what you call a political meeting. Tell Rowley, this is what it looks like, a political meeting. The once great PNM in little pantent now. They're in little hallways. Anywhere Rowley could find a little place. Just now you have to look for PNM in a saucer. Or if I hear this week, you have to look for them in a saucer. Nobody has time with them. Yet pollsters want to tell me that Rowley winning election. Who voting for Rowley? We ready for the road? We're ready for the road. And let it come. They could pave, they could do what they want, they could jump high, they could jump low, they could bring cocaine broom, they could sing open la 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 ulele. We don't care. We're beating them. We're beating them in the west, we're beating them in the south, we're beating them in the north, and we're beating them in the east. Let them talk. We're gonna work. And a I came, I saw the mud. I went in my car and I got my boots. So I know pride in Parliament. Stuart Young gonna make a whole speech on my boots. So let me show him. They don't have a damn thing to do. No plan, no work. All they could do is sit down and talk damn stupidness and walk up and down. So they are holy water and cocaine broom. We have none of that. Because nobody must call the UNC devils. We are not taking that. But we know that we are work jumbies. We are work jumbies. Work nation pussy. We are work jumbies. So there's a lot of noise. And those opposed to us tell us we are going to win. Never mind. Everywhere we walk, the poor and the oppressed saying we fed up a Rowley. People go on past the PNM, people are starting PNM again. They say we fed up a Rowley. We are not going to have 5 more years under Rowley. We refuse to have that. So when the pollsters go in and they're doing a representative sample, we knocking from door to door to door. We doing 100%, and 99% tell us we don't want Rowley. We don't want him. We don't want him. So don't worry them. Don't worry them. As a great freedom fighter, Harriet Tubman said, if you hear the dogs, keep going. If you see the torches in the woods, keep going. If they shout at you, where to the UNC? Keep going, keep going, keep going until the last vote is counted on the 2nd of December, because that will be the first sign that we're going to put Rowley out of business. All of them must go. Useless. You see, they feel we stupid walking around with cocaine broom, you know, and holy water. Open la ulele. You understand? We're gonna send Rowley back to Tobago. He and his Jumbie man, he and the Lekoto Jumbie, they go and plant peace in Tobago. You understand? They feel that by calling us names, they feel that we frightened. They feel we're frightened because they're calling us name. But we afraid because just, my God, the leader is here. Our
and only political leader of the United National Congress, Kamla Persad-Bissessar.
With dedication, with dedication.
You see, this is how you greet a real leader. This is a real political meeting. This is how we have a political meeting. Any junction, we could just put a tent and we have thousands. We have to be looking in all kind of teacup and saucer and highway and byway. So, welcome to our political leader, of course. So, but calling us names is a ploy used by the PNM in an attempt of what I call othering us, trying to make the case that members of the UNC does not belong in the corridors of power. When at Mr. Sat Maraj's funeral last week, Dr. Selwyn Kojo compared Mr. Maraj to the great American freedom civil rights leader, Dr. Martin Luther King. I agreed with the context because Mr. Maraj understood that education is your way out of poverty. And what a fitting send-off, 40 scholarship. 40 scholarship. I have always maintained, it is a remarkable achievement. And I've always maintained that this government should have long ago placed all the schools, primary and secondary, those in Laventille, in Beetham, in Sea Lots and Environ, under SAT's management. Can you imagine what SAT would have done with Success Laventille School? The potential that has now been realized and probably lost to us forever. I felt proud when I saw Nikila Batiste, as a former student of Shiva Boys Hindu School in Pinal. She won a scholarship and is closer to realizing her goals as a forensic pathologist. She worked hard, and as all of the scholarship winners worked hard. But I think what Mr. Maraj gave to us was so outstanding, his vision. Unlike this Prime Minister, who refuses to do the hard work, he believes that running around with slander and lies will pull him through. But we are not taking him on. He alone in his race to the bottom. It was last week in La Hoquita. He told 50 people, because Rowley don't build he don't pull no crowd. Rowley is not Kamla. Who fixing the road? Who fixing the road? He can't pull no crowd. Nothing. Nothing. You understand? Sold out. Look at this crowd. So he talking to 50 people in La Hoquita. And he said, you know, he can't talk without calling me name. He said that I am me, Jolene John. I have been demanding a by-election with the missing Maxi. You see, the gentleman appears not to be able to carry on any conversation without calling my name. I appear to be living rent-free in his head. Can you imagine? This big, powerful man has not one damn thing to do but to continuously slander a poor picky-head girl from Sharville. Continuously. You think he has something against black picky-head girls? You think he has something against us? Don't worry with this. This is mine to abide. I have never spoken anything about Maxi Coffee. What is there to say? No one brings him up. I have heard that every time they tell him he's not going up in election, he bursts into tears, saying God ordained him to serve. I never doubt God's wisdom. But in this case, I ask, God ordained him to serve who? The people of La Hoquita Talparo voted him to serve them, but all he's doing is serving himself. That's all he's doing. So I wish him well. I wish him a good luck, because I want him to be healthy and strong. Because if the PNM lose their collective minds and send Maxi up for the constituency of La Hoquita Talparo, he will need strength to take the political licking he will get. He will need all the strength. You know. So, they also floating the name of one character named Cummins. They could bring Cummins, they could bring goings, they could bring run-ins. It's the same lick in North Carolina. Same lick. Same lick. We indifferent as to who they bring. Comings, going, run-ins, we beating all of them, singularly or collectively. We don't care. So the UNC is begging on behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago for a general election. We begging Rowley to let our people go. You think the people of Lahore have no coffee missing? You know whether this PNM crop of ministers sick or well is the same thing. Nobody know what they're here to do. You know if Grande Jennings missing up here? No, it doesn't matter because they do nothing, whether they're missing or they're going to work. So, what do you tell the young black boys lying on the side of the road? You're telling them that you're making weed legal, but they're already smoking weed. And they certainly ain't want imbe bulb. So they want jobs, they want skills, they want to be alive, to live full, useful life. Small and medium-sized businesses from Guaya to Miaro to Grande, all the way down the corridor are closing down. Putting even more people on the breadline. And later this week, the bold-faced Rowley will be coming to you in Grande, begging you to save his job. I don't know under whose shop he going and have a meeting, because he certainly can't have it here. He had nobody to come out and attend this meeting. Nobody had time with Rowley. Nobody. So my people, our leader is here and we want to hear what she has to say. So I'm going to wrap up. So in this election year, Rowley stood before the people at the Emancipation Day celebration and had to admit, all you're not doing well. Today I asked the Prime Minister, why is the group who have voted for him election after election not doing well? So if they're doing well in his first 5 years, should they vote and give him another 5? Thank you. Today the PNM have somehow tried to grow a conscience and then Port of Spain giving away water tank in Charlotte Street and these places. Do you know what Kamla Persad-Bissessar had said for the people of Charlotte Street? For the people of Half Place, of Mango Rose, Duncan Street, Prince Street, all over Lavington? Once you're living in an HDC owned house, the HDC is mandated to give it to them for $100. $100, because the then Prime Minister, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, felt everybody should have a place to call home in Trinidad and Tobago. There you have what you have now on Charlotte Street. You have Rowley putting up 2 old iron and calling it Chinatown and said, that is what I give to you. Kamla was giving Shafford Court all the houses for $100. He got lower down Charlotte Street and he put on the 2 pieces of old iron and he said that is Chinatown. Hard luck for you. So in 2015, the population exchanged 106 schools for Let's Do This. The San Fernando Teaching Hospital, Cuba Hospital, Grande, all these hospitals they're building in Grande and in Arima, multiple health centers. Those were built, the Arima Teaching Hospital and the Grande was started by whom? Thank you. And exchange that for Let's Do This. 50,000 jobs and profit-making Petrotrin were exchanged for Let's Do This. So the Prime Minister of slogans and lies, telling you that you're living in a new society, I tell him tonight, not tonight, Satan, get the hands. What new society we living in? What new society? Kamla Persad-Bissessar said, any child found outside up to 2 p.m., they must have an answer, because we need children to be in school. Everybody must learn something. Could be a trade, because everybody can't be doctors and lawyers. Everybody can't do what Lakshmi girls, what they are doing. So, brothers and sisters, oh Lord, let me wrap up for the Honorable Leader. We want to know what she has to say. So we want to know, why not an after-school homework bill, a parenting bill for young and single parents? Or how to get into business bill for those who feel they have been left behind? How we take care of our homeless and vulnerable bill? All they want is anti-gang for poor black fellas. No second chances. Them alone deserve second chances. So Trinidad and Tobago in the upcoming local elections, justice and equality, they are on the ballot. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Look, the creator of jobs, she arrived. This is the job creator, the jobs machine. Our honorable leader said she's going to create 100,000 jobs. 100,000 jobs. Under Rowley. They have lost. We have lost over 80,000 jobs. Freedom from the gang culture is on the ballot. Peace and security, they are on the ballot. Laptops on the ballot. Healthcare, quality healthcare, that's on the ballot. So UNC has a solid plan. We know that. UNC has a solid plan to get in Trinidad and Tobago moving again. And we have a leader who is tried and proven. She has been hung in the balance and she has not been found wanting. Kamla Persad-Bissessar is the leader of the future. And tonight, I urge you to go out on the 2nd of December and vote. Vote in this talented team from Grande. Let us take the corporation, because after we take the corporation on the 2nd of December, whenever this Rowley decides to call the election, we are going to take the government and bring back sanity to Trinidad and Tobago.
You don't know. Pound a little sugar no pan. Me nah sleep with you no man. See that work nation. Can't put an angel.
Work nation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the sheriff doing Rowley Take Back Your Tax.
UNC people, let's see here. Sheriff is in top man. Rowley, I came to deliver eviction notice. Back up the things, man. Back up you and all the tax. Time to shift up. UNC is back. I think I'm alone. This prime minister is crazy. Only making things hard for we. Bam bam, east, west, north and south. Truly, I shape all the world. Since PNF getting power, everything going wrong. Prices going up, but salaries going down. Rowley, pay back your tax. I'm telling you flat. Work nation.
Hello for the UNC people. Nanti Kamla, UNC
people. Let's see here. Sheriff is in top man. Rowley, I came to deliver eviction notice. Back up the things, man. Back up you and all the tax. Time to shift up. UNC is back. I think I'm alone. This prime minister is crazy. Only making things hard for we. Bam bam, east, west, north and south. Truly, I shape all the world. Since PNF getting power, everything going wrong. Prices going up, but salaries going down. Rowley, take back your tax. I'm telling you flat. Rowley, take back your tax. We can't live with that. Rowley, take back your tax. You're making things hard. It's better you step down and let Kamla run Trinidad. I'm telling you. Oh, you feel me staying and take this stupidness? But let me tell you something. Yes, sir. Because I think I'm gonna go back again. Moving with the rising sun. This is new time on you. UNC people. The rate of crime is increasing. People desperate. You're preaching one love. It's only robbery, murder and rape. When anti-tax was in power, your country was living nice. Since Rowley take over, like you will eat salt and rice. Rowley, take back your tax. I'm telling you flat. Rowley, take back your tax. We can't live with that. Rowley, take back your tax. You're making things sad. It's better you step down and let Kamla run Trinidad. Anti-Kamla, we need your back. We go show them how we do it. Then Rowley and all the tax go from here. Come on, leave. UNC this time you intend to kill me. It's unlike a nation. You're acting like you don't care. This coming election, I vote in UNC with no fear. Rowley, take back your tax. I'm telling you flat. Rowley, take back your tax. We can't live with that. Rowley, take back your tax. You're making things hard. It's better you step down and let Kamla run Trinidad. We love you, so let's close down power gem. Let's close down the steel mill. Let's come and close down petrochim.
Work nation, work nation, work nation.
Talk done.
Baby, just again now. Watch out for them boy, them they stock it. Now for get the use now have no money for the market. Mr. Politician, when you talk it, make sure you could have walk it. Cause all them do is talk. Them talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, all rise. Let's welcome the one and only political leader of the United National Congress. Let's welcome the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the one and only Kamla Persad-Bissessar, live in Grande for the United National Congress Work Nation.
Wow, I cannot do better than Sheriff, okay? In my next lifetime, I want to be a singer, but in this lifetime, we'll have a conversation. So, all UNC friends and family are here tonight. For those listening out on the airwaves, I say good night to all of you. Welcome to Woke Nation in Grande. Welcome, welcome one and all. So Grande, how you feeling? Thank you for welcoming us here. Grande, we can feel the energy. All our platform speakers spiked up the place, livened up the place. So we can feel that energy here. And you know the sun rises from the east. So on December 2nd from the east in Grande, we will take over the whole country, starting in the Grande Corporation, moving to the west, the north, the south, and we will win. We will win. You know, there are a few words I would like to say on the passing of Wayne Chance. I had the privilege to know him. So we extend condolences to his family and his loved ones on his passing. He was a great human being, a great soul. I had the privilege to work personally with him in his mission to try to help other persons. He understood very much what I know and understand, that in the fight against crime, you cannot just work to lock up people. You must give them a second chance. That was Wayne Chance. And so what he did, his work was to help to rehabilitate prisoners and former prisoners. But this government doesn't understand that. Jalen mentioned about anti-gang law and so on. They have a bill in the parliament. They want to pass it before the elections. Huh? So they bring it to the House on Wednesday. They don't normally have parliament on a Wednesday. But they so want to bring it there to really provoke the UNC in the parliament. Now we are going there. We know we have a fight against crime everywhere. But our answer is not to just throw people in jail, take the key and pelt away the key. It's not a question about jailing everybody. We cannot understand, will not stand for that. We will protect your human rights, your fundamental rights. And that is what we plan to do on Wednesday. Because in this bill, they're saying if you're found with, in possession of a weapon, just possession, not trafficking, also for trafficking, but possession. Now imagine you are in a building somewhere. And they come in and they find a weapon, a firearm. You don't know nothing about that. You have nothing to do that. But this law will allow them to pick up everybody in that building, put them in jail with no bail. Will you support that? We are saying, if your child is in a car going to school somewhere, going to work, and for some reason there is a weapon in that car trunk, nothing to do with your child, nothing to do with your brother, your sister, maybe your wife or your husband is in that vehicle, might be on a maxi taxi, might be in a PTSD bus. What they're saying? If they find a weapon there, a firearm, lock you up, everybody, you know, everybody, and no bail for 120 days. And if the trial starts, no bail. They say you'll stay inside there and see how long these courts take. You could be there for 10 years before that case finishes. That cannot be the answer. We are saying we want an amendment to the law. We agree crime has to be dealt with back violently, aggressively. We have to fight crime. But that cannot be the answer. And so we are saying if the person has a conviction already for an offense, so you're a convicted felon. If you already have a conviction, well then, no bail the second time. Can you agree to that? That is a reasonable compromise, because the chances are that, you know, you have a conviction, meaning they found you guilty already for something bad. And they come and they pick you up. The probability, the possibility is higher that you are or may well be guilty this time. But that is a kind of a case that you could plan something. If a man and his wife break up, yeah? And suppose now the wife is with someone else, ex-wife, and it happens. And that man happens to be a policeman. There is a grave danger that they could plant something there. That policeman will have the power. Not all policemen will do it, but they are humans and they are humans. And so this law can allow somebody who's spiting you, who have some malice for you, to plant something. To plant it on your property, to put it in your car, to put it in a building where you may have to be. I cannot and will not support that. I will not support it. So their plan is to bring it on Wednesday. They will not take the amendment that we will bring, because we want to pass it. But we want to pass good law. We will not pass it in the present form. So their plan is now from Wednesday night, they're going pillar to post and everywhere, oh, Kamla and them UNC supporting criminals. That's what they cry. That's what they, you know, they look for these distractions. Huh? When the election just called, the man stand up on platform and say, plot to assassinate him. Yeah, right, big news. When that didn't get them where they wanted to be, they come and talk about some fake data, something, whatever. When that didn't work, because they say, who the hell cares? Then he come back and he say, why he not coming to Trinidad? Because the UNC members threatened to kill him. Good Lord. I mean, how much more ludicrous can you become? How much more foolish can you be? UNC members want to kill Wiley, so he's frightened for his life. Look, the commissioner of police looking for Wiley, and he cannot find Wiley. You think a UNC member going to find Wiley to threaten him? So with each day it gets worse, you know, it gets more and more ridiculous. And back to the bill, I'm saying, should they make the change? We will say yes in the parliament. If we do not support it in the parliament, the bill will fail because they need our votes. Thank God our constitution framers put the constitution in such a way that when you want to do draconian measures in the parliament, you have to get the support of the opposition, whichever opposition, they must join votes to get a 3/5 majority. So that is my battle there. But I say we are committed to fighting crime. But I thought I would raise this matter tonight to send a clear signal to the government. In its present form, we are not supporting the bill, and to warn you that after Wednesday we do not support that draconian law, they will come to cry and say, UNC supporting criminals. So be warned, be warned. I saw this man somewhere, I was watching the news and I saw a little news clip. And in the news clip, the man saying, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. She called me Rowley. And she called him Imbert and Faris. Well, I didn't go to school with her. Now, my name is Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. Tonight, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, I tell you, we're coming for you. We are going to vote you out. We are going to vote you out. Vote you out. Because we know people are suffering. I know it, you know it, many people around here know it, I think the whole country knows it, except this man who worrying that somebody calling him Rowley instead of Dr. Rowley. Can you imagine? You think that's, as I say, more and more ridiculous? I say sometimes I have plenty mother and father and auntie and uncles. Anywhere I go, people call me Kamla. Walking down the street, Kamla. Everywhere I go is what? Kamla. I'm proud of my name. I am Kamla. I am UNC and I am proud. So my friends, we have a winning team of candidates here. Young Katrina, did you know how beautiful she could sing? Stand up, Katrina. Give her a round of applause. Sandy Grande, Northeast. Nasser Hussain, Sandy Grande, Northwest. Stand up. Kenman Philip, Mansalina Fishing Pond. Anil Maraj, Kumuto Tamana. Joseph Thomas, Valencia West. Calvin Sicheran, Sandy Grande South. Your winning team of Grande candidates come Monday. So we want to thank them for stepping up to serve. I was talking about Katrina and this song. Our song, which is a Work Nation song, that beautiful voice you hear, the female voice, Katrina. And all the singers on that, in that song, all of them are, guess who? UNC local government candidates. So we have tremendous talent. We wish them all well. So we see now that the pathetic PNM, they are talking about a change. Yeah? Imagine that after 4 years, they're talking about a change. They forget that they're in power. They forget that they've done absolutely nothing in the 4 years. They have no achievements in 4 years. But this man stands on a platform when he should be speaking about achievements for the people and what his plans are to go forward, to create jobs, to get better health care, to fight crime, education, roads, infrastructure. What does he go on the platform to boast of his latest achievement? You know what he does? He boasts that he spent $17 million to build a mansion in Tobago for himself. That is the achievement. He said it, I didn't say, I didn't make that up. He said he spent 17 million, but I know it's more like 25 million. To do what? To build a mansion in Tobago. To do what? To have a Christmas party in Tobago. Man can't get jobs. Man can't put food on the table. Mothers are crying. Their children are suffering. He talking about Christmas party in a mansion in Tobago he built for $17 million. Shame on him. Shame on him. Shame on him, man. Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, are you for real? That $17 million could have helped children through the Children's Life Fund. That $17 million could have done so much for suffering people. But he boasted he built a mansion in Tobago. Man, I didn't say he was mad. I know who said he was mad. Colin Imbert. Colin Imbert said when the Prime Minister asked him to become Minister of Finance, he said, what, like you're going mad? It's in the newspaper. He said, well, this man mad. And then the chairman who was chairing the meeting, I think it's Miss Hong, she went on the platform and she said, we also think the man mad. But now they say, well, he's doing okay, but I think he was really mad to put that little man, Imbert, as our Minister of Finance. The economy has collapsed. Over 63,000 jobs have been lost. And you want to boast about a house in Tobago you build with taxpayers' money to hold a Christmas party. When we were there, remember every Christmas, we traversed every part of this land giving toys to children for Christmas. But this man wants to hold a party, Christmas, in this mansion in Tobago. I hope the whole of Tobago get invited. I hope he takes all the children. You remember we used to take the special children up to the dip center and we'd give them a treat every Christmas. But they don't care about people. What he cares is his mansion. What is his next achievement? He's achieved what was on the cover of his book. And that was to do what? From Mason Hall to Whitehall. Millions again spent on Whitehall so he could make his own dream come true. He put it on the book first. There was no Whitehall finished. But what he did, millions again. And then last Christmas, what did he do? Stallmeyer's Castle. Christmas carols in Stallmeyer's Castle. And we said schools before castles. But that's their thinking. It's a weird kind of thinking. It's not about people, it's about themselves. It's always about themselves and not about the people of our land. So here we are, they spend these millions. They're breaking down homes and evicting people in Santa Flora, you know, they're going down Paliseco again. This is the third time they're going down to the Corporation of Superior. And they're coming again tomorrow upstairs the Superior Market. A market that my government built, by the way, the Superior Market. They come back, that'll be the fourth time. Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, you will not win the Superior Corporation. You could come every day, you could come every night. You will not win Superior. You will not win it. And here we are. Spent all this money, went right here. I came in the squatting settlement the weekend I was here with the motorcade. Boabande, is that how you pronounce it? Say it for me loud. That place I went to meet the people. You know why? They were sending eviction notices for these people to get out of their homes, to leave their homes, evicting them. We put a team of lawyers. They run fast the next side. So it's giving out what they call letters of comfort. 4 years did nothing. We brought a team of lawyers. We promised we were going to take them to court. They start to give out these certificate of comfort. So you're evicting them here, but you're boasting about this mansion in Tobago for $17 million. They spent over $3 million on Mr. Maxi Coffee. But what about the children who are dying? Because they cannot get the money from the Children's Life Fund. What about them? So they take care of their own, their friends and their family, and the rest of you to catch. People crying. What about the people dying on the corridors? You see the pictures in the hospital, man. And a state-of-the-art hospital down in Vancouver, spite and malice, they will not open it. Drugstore, they make it into a drugstore, but look at the hospitals. Jalen mentioned Arima and so on. I remember coming, that was promised since I think Eric Williams' days, if I'm not mistaken. We turned this out, we started, we did design work. And I'm telling you, if we went back into office, that hospital would have been completed long ago. Long ago. So they really don't care. What do? They spend on their own, on their friends and their family. They gifted Faris a $23 million rental contract. Yes, a gift. $23 million contract. Sole select rental contract, you know. And what they coming to give you? A URP 10 days. I hear they're busy these days. Calling people, come for 10 days, URP, come for gang. I think somebody, Christine mentioned earlier, I think there's a tape with that gentleman. What's his name, Christine? A guy, his name is Ramraj something. He's on tape. He's on tape. Saying that the PNM promised him contracts, CPEP contract or whatever contract, $7,000 to do what? To go on bad talk Christine and the UNC. So when you see that guy, run him. Just run him away. Run him away. Selling out for 30 pieces of silver. Judases all. Traitors. And that goes for the band of UNC rejected people. UNC rejects. Want to fight seat in Grande. UNC rejects. The persons we felt did not make the cut to run as a UNC candidate for many reasons. I see them turn up now with red shirt and them is PNM candidate. The PNM is so bankrupt of talent, they have to take those rejected by the UNC. So never fair in Grande. Who is it? Badalu is running against whom? Jutaram? Anil. Another one. Nirmal Singh, some Lakan or somebody. All of them, UNC rejects. They're all UNC B team, C team, D team until they reach right up to P, P, and M. And want you to vote for these Judases. Make no mistake, we have a great team of candidates here. And notice how little they care we send you. What people want are the sustainable jobs. We have been preparing our young people for the digital age. As you know, we gave you the laptops, the smart schools, the gate. They took all that away. I heard Katrina talking today. She's studying for a degree. The fact that she's unemployed, so many people, qualified, so many qualified people cannot get jobs. You remember we had all the training on the tertiary education. All kinds of things. We said we would give you a certificate. If you're a hairdresser, you're a plumber, you're a carpenter, because we need the skills. You could come in, you could be assessed, and if you were not up to mark to get the certificate, give you the training and then do what? Give you a certificate. So you will be certified as a plumber, as a bricklayer, as a whatever it be, any one of the skills. We were into that too. It wasn't just secondary education. It was what they call work education, technical education, to prepare the young people for jobs. This regime is totally incapable of governing. Totally incapable. Their entire platform consists of lies, insults, innuendo, fear, and divisiveness. Rowley and his ministers appear pathetic and broken, with no confidence in anything they're saying on their platforms. Everyone can see through Rowley's fake machismo. You want to play macho man? Fake machismo. And understand, we must see how weak and insecure they are. Their lack of confidence is due to their incompetence and causes them to attempt to terrorize, to intimidate, to bully, to frighten people, bring fear into your hearts. And they do this by insulting you. They do it with their smears and their trashy commentary, because that is what makes them feel big. They talk down to you, they bully you, they buff you. And that means they're big, they're in charge. Well, that's not going to work anymore. What they don't know is that criticizing others will never satisfy their need for competence, will never satisfy their need for confidence. And look, this blame Kamla business, that's not going to help them overcome any of their fears. Blame Kamla, my back broad and strong. I've been in this business long enough to know, you see, all your lies, all your insults, I don't care about any of them. I don't care for that. What I care about is serving the people. What I care about is providing opportunities for people. That is what I care about. So go with your lies and half-truths and so on, because I think at the end of the day, people understand. Have you ever seen that man smiling on a platform? Why are they always so vexed? They're always on the platform, on these meetings, the man always so vexed and buffing somebody, buff that one. When I see the man on a platform hearing him buffing a lady named Marcia, I say, well, he really going through. For Prime Minister, for Prime Minister, somebody put a blog, the social media things. And the man actually attacking this girl named Marcia, a Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Total shameless. They have this fixation on the flaws in themselves. They have no idea how to fix these flaws. So what they think, what they do, they think that by projecting this belittling aggression, through blaming everybody, they can conceal their own weaknesses, they can hide their own incompetence. Because they say, you bad, you this, you that, you the other, you the next, you the next. Look, when a man comes now, I can't get over that. I have to say, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, you for real, you really for real? In a local government campaign platform, you will serve on a platform and quarrel with Kamla for calling you Rowley. You for real? Why didn't you come and tell the people what you're going to do to create jobs for them? Why didn't you tell the people what you're going to do to help fight crime? Why don't you come and tell the people in 4 years you have achieved nothing? You're a total failure. Total failure. In a way, I feel sorry for them. But I can't get no soft heart in this business. I would feel sorry for them, but you see, what they're doing is so damaging and dangerous to the people of our country. So don't feel sorry for them. Because they don't feel sorry for you. They don't feel sorry for anybody. Only their friends and family. You will see. You will see. What goes around, comes around. The UNC platform is our plans, policies, getting our country working again. We are the only political party that has put out a comprehensive economic and social transformation plan. We are the only party with a comprehensive transformation plan. All the other side has is to make these derogatory speeches and insult people on their platform. After 4 years, tell us your plan. Tell us your achievements after 4 years. You have none. No plan, no policy, no achievements except building mansion and giving Faris rental contract and so on for buildings. It is really sad to say this, but everywhere in our country, Rowley and his ministers have become a laughing stock. People see them as lazy jokers, and now some are feeling sorry for them. It is time for us to ignore them. Ignore Rowley and his pitiful bunch, just as I ignore them. While they humiliate themselves in meetings all over the country, obsessing about Kamla. I don't mind if he don't call my name for the day or the night. I think he might not be very happy at all. Obsessing about Kamla. You should focus, my friends, here and everywhere in our country on what matters most to you. And these issues are real issues to help improve the lives of you and your children. This is what our platform is offering to you, an opportunity to uplift yourselves. Do not take P&M bait and go so low. Stay positive, talk good, do good, see good, be good, and do good. And good will follow you. Good will follow you. The government I led, we worked to improve the lives of people here. So Mr. Rowley, you were saying about you want change and a change is coming. Yes, a change is coming. But no, Dr. Rowley, you are not the change. The people have had enough. They are fed up of incompetence and laziness and bumbling. The people of this country are ready to vote you out of office. That is the change that will come to transform Trinidad and Tobago. And we are going to start on December 2nd. We will do it again after December 2nd. So, we are living in troubling times. We are. And this election campaign has been fraught with reports of attempts at intimidation of UNC supporters. We are seeing a worrying trend with the EBC. So we have to be extra vigilant to preserve our democracy. We have seen the errors by the EBC, and up to today, which was the first day of special voter polling, again, there were enforced errors. And you see, I think sometimes that is what you get when you put your friend and family in charge of a big position and you not follow the process. So you put your minister family to head the EBC, and we're seeing all these errors, and you have to wonder, are they really errors? Or is it in fact a conspiracy to steal the elections? Too much, too much. There was a process, and the reason it has already been raised elsewhere many times, that Minister Coffey's family is a person they put to run the EBC. Yes? And the process that they leapfrogged her from somewhere else to raise her up to that. The person was there for all the years. They move aside. Move her aside. And they put this lady there now, and I am very worried. So soldiers on the ground and everywhere. On election day, we are already doing it, and I want to thank all the candidates in all the districts because they have been monitoring the special voting. But you see, on December 2nd, come out early. Put your vote in early. I made it like a joke, but with this EBC, any number could play. Come early, cast your votes in the morning. Don't wait for after lunch. Because we know this EBC. If the rain starts to fall, this time they know they're going to lose, so they will not extend. They might cut short the voting hours because of the floods and the rain. So go out early. Bring out your people early. And And you see, they come in to bribe you with contract and CPEP and URP. And I'm being told some people even come in and offering you money. You know what I'll tell you to do? Take everything you get in. Take everything you get. Because when you go to vote on December 2nd, that vote is only between you and your God. That is a secret vote. So boy, you're getting contract, take it. You're getting CPAP, URP, take it. They're giving you a red jersey, well, I'm not going down there. I'm not going that far down that road. So whatever to benefit your life, a job, CPAP, that will benefit you and help you and your family. But the red jersey not going to help you at all. So take it, take it, take it, take it. So I'm saying we must be extra vigilant. We are talking, when I talk to you about the paving frenzy, the others have spoken. In 4 years, you know, running midnight, as Christine told us, to pave road everywhere. But just like the CPEP and the URP and the whatever, take the paving, take the road, and when you go to vote, drive on that same road, walk on that same road, go down to the police station, and put your X next to the rising sun. You know, really, I have some questions for this gentleman, Rohanson and all. You know him? I'll get to that in a moment, but I have a serious question for him tonight, so stay tuned. Very serious matter to raise on him. Now, Jalen mentioned about the water tank giveaway and so on in Port of Spain. You know, they cannot provide the water to even put in the tank, but they're giving away free empty tank. Free empty water tank. Where get the water to put in that tank? Provide the water. Water for everybody in TNT. Provide water. I have some plans for Grande, but I want to share this matter on Rohan because it's a very important matter that I think many of you already know is happening here, and I really would like to deal with it. This is a question about the bridge. Is it Kunapo? You pronounce it Kunapo Bridge? You all know where that bridge is? Right, listen to this. I have this important matter. I must raise this matter because people need to be reminded about the nature of this Rowley PNM. You will remember the Minister of Works, Sinan, he came up to Grande, he cut the ribbon for the Kunapo Bridge. That was carried in the newspaper. This project including the construction of a new bridge and roadway. The river channel which ran under the old bridge was realigned, meaning they diverted it to run under the new bridge that was constructed. According to a Newsday report, August 11, 2019, the Director of Bridges, Jagdev Mahadev, indicated that two options were presented in 2016 for the Kunapo Bridge project, which meant that in 2016, a decision still had to be made regarding the manner in which the project was to be undertaken, whether the bridge would remain where it was or whether the new bridge would be relocated. Mr. Mahadev stated that from the options, the design which was chosen involved diverting the river channel and the acquisition of lands. The acquisition, what that mean? Buying land, paying for land from two private owners. Therefore, they had to run the river through a private owner land. They had to relocate the bridge and construct it over the new river channel. So this is the survey plan for the land before the start of the project. Can we get that up on screen, please? Survey plan for that piece of land. And on that plan, if it's on the screen, I'm not sure. Is it up? You will see the river running on the north boundary of that piece of land shown in pink. Can you see it? Can you see the river? You see that? All right, that is a survey plan. So there's a river on the northern boundary. It says Arima River at the top of the diagram there. Then we go now. So this plan of a parcel of land colored pink in the ward of Ture containing 2.743 hectares. Then go to this Google map, the next picture I have, please, on the screen, a Google map. image of the land in 2017 before any work was done. So this is the land before any work. Do we have it, please? Because this project started, so you see the private owner's land being cleared. This picture next was taken in 2018. Okay? Do we have the 2018 picture, please? And you will see the land being cleared, taken in 18, a new road constructed and bridge being built. A picture taken in 2019 also shows the new river channel for the river. I'm not sure if you're getting the images, but they're there. Now, I told you earlier that the option chosen for the project was to buy lands from 2 private owners. This was done, so river now has to pass through the land of the private owner. The lands will now have to be acquired for public purpose. I also told you it was a project of which ministry? Ministry of Works and Transport. A land search was done on the lands where the river now runs through. I have a copy of the deed in my possession. This is deed for the lands registry. And it should be on the screen if they can get it up, but I have it here. This is a deed dated 19 January 2009. A parcel of land bought in 2009 for $1.9 million, dated in January 2009. And on this deed, these are the parties to the deed. This deed of conveyance made 19th of January in the year of our Lord 2009 between Dipchan Kedan, and they give his address, known as the vendor, that's the person selling, and Rohan Sinanan of number 27 Gilwell Road, Valson North, in the aforesaid Republic, hereinafter referred to as the purchaser. So Rohan bought this land in 2009. This parcel of land described in the schedule to the deed and so on. And so, here is the deed. Mr. Sinanan is an owner tonight now. I call on Rohan Sinanan to confirm or deny the contents of the deed registered in the Ministry of Legal Affairs, which indicates he is owner of the land. I am asking Rohan Sinanan whether at the time the decision was taken to buy the lands, whether he was part of the deliberations, or whether, like his AG, he stepped out of the room when they agreed to rent him the property. I call on Rohan to tell us whether he received any money for those lands. And if he did so, what is the total sum of money paid to him by the state, the taxpayer dollars, for that piece of land? So remember, they had to pay for the K-Donner lands, and now you're coming to pay for a bridge here that may well be with respect to the lands owned by Rohan Sinanan. And when, before Rohan comes by your gate to ask you to vote for the PNM, tell him answer these questions first. Tell him answer himself to himself, Ministry of Works, project himself, to Rohan Sinanan, to make money on the head of the taxpayers. Again, I remind you of the Currap interchange with the K-Donner lands. That project is due to be completed this year. Up to now, the negotiation for the acquisition of the land cannot be completed down there. Rohan must come clean and tell this country whether he benefited or will benefit from the Kunapo Bridge project. He must answer the people of Grande and must answer the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We have continued to see friends and family and financiers of the PNM, and these guys are so bold-faced and brass-faced to stand on their platforms every night and talk about the UNC when all these ministers are fleecing, benefiting from the treasury of Trinidad and Tobago. Bold-faced and brass-faced, coming to say they'll lock in this one, lock up that one, lock up. 4 years later, not one of us, not one charge brought, not one of us. Do not be surprised between now and Monday the 2nd. They make up more fake charge and more fake allegations. And between now and the general, don't be surprised. I say in my lifetime, I am not so young, but I'm very young at heart. Nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing surprises me anymore. Been there and done that. Been there and done it. So, see them, the wives club, getting all their contracts. The $23 million man sitting down there. A sitting senator and general secretary of the PNM being given state contracts. I think that's the guy Jillian spoke of. What's his name? Something Cummins. Jillian? Cummins. The talk is that he's coming. Cummins is coming to run against Jillian in La Hoqueta Talparo. Well, he'll get such a licking of his life. He will get a licking of his life. Well, I hear Christine call somebody a lion something. I won't repeat the word. Like Christine was vexed and she said lion so-and-so. But they are really liars, all of them. I want you to remember the Prime Minister, the Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley stood on a platform, told the country, I want every man, woman and child to understand the government is not closing down Petrotrain. And in case you were closing your fridge and you didn't hear me, I want to tell every man, woman and child, the government is not closing down Petrotrain. Remember that? You have to remember that. This is a man who will stand up on a platform and lie, bold-faced, brass-faced. A few weeks later, all gone. Petrotrain shut down. Up to now, we cannot answer that. Why did you lie? What about your other lies? We cannot believe a word they say anymore. We cannot trust them. Do not believe a word and do not trust them. They are the most promising government you ever had. Every time they talk, promises never materialize under this government. They are like the coming soon government, coming soon, stay tuned. Every time they talk, coming soon. We're going to build house, we're going to build hospital, we're going to do this, promise, but always coming soon but never reach. Well, on December 2nd, we reach, we will vote, and we will win. December 2nd. Because the UNC is the best option to take us forward. And let me just share some plans for this area. I've been trying to do that everywhere I go. Because we have the plans and we'll add to those plans. We're in consultation with you, we'll develop other plans. They asked me to speak tonight about some of the things we did up here. They're doing 10 and 15, but time is against. So just say, we paved roads, we constructed drains, Guayco, Coal Mine, Toco, Valencia, Vega, the Orpooch, Sandy Grande, and in other areas. We updated the recreation grounds in Grand River, North Orpooch, Sangre Chiquito, Sangre Grande, Toco. Wow, running out of breath, there's so much. There's so many things we did. We started work to provide modern health services. We promoted tourism. We refurbished the Toco Lighthouse. And we constructed, in fact, I remember coming for that, the Valencia Visitor Center. We improved in education by providing opportunities at COSTAT, the Tech Voc and Training Center, and the OJT Center. We completed the Port, Galeota, and the Valencia bypass. Well, I remember Dr. Rupert Griffith, who was a former later MP for Grande, Tocosani Grande. And he would come to cabinet, he would plead for that Valencia piece of road. And I said to him, Dr. Griffith, I don't see no houses there. So why are we putting this road in the middle there where there are no houses, only trees and forests? And he said, yes, but everybody coming up here, they have to pass there. The traffic is so horrendous. And at Valencia Bypass Road, thanks to former MP Rupert Griffith, made it happen. And of course, the jobs. We've said it before, over 55,000 new jobs we created. We didn't put a single new tax. In fact, we removed the VAT tax from 7,000 food items. Of course, they put it back and so on. What are some of our plans? We will encourage investment in resort, eco, and cultural tourism. This will ensure conservation while broadening your region's economic base. 40% of the land is currently under statutory protection, and this is an area where the beaches and rivers may serve better as recreation areas, and that will create jobs too. We'll revitalize the agricultural sector, Cash crops such as cocoa and coffee, coconuts, citrus, plantains, bananas, mangoes, vegetables, root crops, rice, livestock, poultry, honey are already being produced, but we will create a node for agro and fish processing as we ramp up production in the area, again, creating jobs. We will implement strict regulation and monitoring of the quarry industry with the Minerals Advisory Committee, which has already been set up to ensure that any quarries given out have to be mined 5 acres at a time and be replenished before you go on to the next mine. We'll improve on social and physical infrastructure. We will improve the functional efficiency of the Sandy Grande Town Centre, and we will strengthen the municipal core and expand it and connect people and communities. I heard Katrina on my way up talking about the traffic lock jam, which is something that we can work together with the Burgesses here to see how best, and she had a suggestion of how we can help with that. We'll engage in medium intensity industrial development in the Guayco Sandy Grande area, which will bring jobs and income to the region. This means that this region will be developed with a community core with a range of services to make the community as self-sufficient as possible. The services we will support in the Guayco Sandy Grande area will include banking services, professional offices, retail trades, restaurants, entertainment facilities, market development, and of course, government services. People from quite up here shouldn't have to go to town to access so many government services. We had started that decentralization process of putting government services in communities. That is something we can do here in your community. We will give statutory approvals for buildings in the community core to go up as high as 6 stories. Right now, you can't. So we will have to do that again to build your town center. This will open up opportunities for business, for commerce in Kumutu, Guayco, Grande, and the whole Rio Claro, Princestown area. And also Rio, Mayaro, Manzanilla, Grande, Guayco, Kumutu. They will all be connected together, bringing people, communities, and commerce together. We will construct a car park in Sandy Grande to support park and ride along the east-west corridor. And we will have a dedicated bus lane with express service to Rima and from Arima to Port of Spain, which will establish Grande as a transit hub. Renewable energy. We have our own natural renewable resources, the sun, underutilized. In recent years, solar power has surged to become the cheapest and fastest growing source of electricity on the planet. We will invite private investors to establish a solar tech park within the Tamana Intech Park, thereby creating jobs. The solar tech park will develop energy efficiency modular solar solutions which can be retrofitted to existing buildings or integrated into new construction projects and used in several other areas such as marine, communication, and transport. The Tamana Solar Tech on supply technologies through licensing and supply agreements, the product to provide the specialist turnkey energy solutions to communities, not just here, but within the entire Caribbean region. Right out of your community. So create the jobs here first, to create the jobs, and you export, you bring in the foreign exchange and create more jobs. And these are some of the plans that we have. Of course, we can't have all of them in one night. But these are some of the plans to help you grow, to help your communities in Grande grow, to create sustainable jobs for the people of Grande and of elsewhere. And of course, to allow you to have a sustainable income and not just a CPEP and a URP 10 days. Remember something, you know. Parents who spend their life and grandparents getting CPEP and URP, that's not what they really want for their children, you know. They all want their children to do better. That is why we were creating these educational opportunities to lift you up. Jalen said it, I always said it, education is the only passport out of poverty. Education is the only key, the key to getting a better quality of life. And that's what I spent a lot of time and a lot of my life centered on the development of education on land. You remember when I was Minister of Education the first time around under Mr. Pandey's government? We created spaces and built schools all over And they say, we building school up here. We building school for what? Parrot and Dwen. Well, bring out all the parrots and all the Dwens, and on December 2nd, put your X next to the rising sun. Vote for the UNC. I had some plans about crime fighting, but given the lateness of the hour, let me just wrap up to thank you all very much. To thank you for joining us here, and to tell you two things. One, the UNC will not be holding its usual mass rally on Saturday, the last day of campaigning, basically. Because I have a different idea, to be outside of the box, to try to reach more people and touch more people. If we hold a mass rally in Constantine Park or whichever park, whether it's in Central or along the corridor, then we are taking everybody out of their communities. We are taking all our candidates out into one lockdown zone. Of course, that costs a lot of money. But I prefer to take that money, the resources, and use it to help the candidates to fund the election campaigns. But we will not stop there. So what instead we've discussed it and we've come up with, this is what we will do. On December 30, all candidates will stay in their section. Stay in your section, stay in your boundaries. Don't go beyond your boundaries, stay in your section. And you run your motorcade rally and meet and greet and touch people. So it'll be 14. There will be 14 major rallies because we have 14 corporations, but you'll in fact have 139 warm bodies candidates on the ground meeting their constituents. That is on the 30th. And then they will do that in the morning. They'll have a prayer, word of prayer first on Saturday morning. All of Saturday morning, that's what they'll do. And then listen, guys. The whole UNC will journey to Grande and will end here in Grande on Saturday for a mass rally.
Work nation.
So all over Trinidad, you will have a sea of yellow, a tsunami of yellow everywhere from the north, south, east, west, throughout the land. And then we'll congregate to end here in Grande for 6:30 p.m. and we will take Grande home with us on Monday, 2nd December. So once again, I thank you all. We thank our hard-working candidates everywhere. And tonight we have a special treat for you. We have a special treat for you. But before I do that, let me once again call on the candidates to please stand when I call their name, the Grande candidates. Kerwin Charles, Valencia East. Calvin Cicharan, Sandy Grande South. Joseph Thomas, Valencia West. Anil Miraj, Kumuto Tamana. Kerwin Philip, Manzanilla Fishing Pond. Nasser Hussain, Sandy Grande Northwest. Anil Jutaram, Vega de Oropuch. Katrina Charles, Sandy Grande Northeast. And joining them on stage as we welcome candidates. Can we get this move and the other candidates? God bless you, and thank you very much for having me here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Work Nation crew.
Make sure the time is done now. Can't start back the work now. All the top done, all the top done. Work nation!
We fed up by these people and all the bag of lies and everything that they're doing wrong, they're trying to disguise. Always pointing fingers, never wanna take the blame. We frustrated now, don't want no more, and we ain't taking it again.
Talk done. Let's get to work again, cause we sick of time on the line. Talk done. Let's get to work again, cause the country need to shine. Talk done.
Let's get to work again. Come on, people, you know it's it's true. Talk done. Let's get to work again, cause the UNC works for you. Talk done.
From there we start the engine. UNC have the plan to build a brighter future forward Green Island. Come on everybody, and you know it's true. It's time to start work again, and the UNC works for you.
Make sure the talk is done now. Time to start back the work now. All the talk done, all the talk done. Work nation.
We fed up by these people and all the bag of lies. And that they're doing wrong, they're trying to disguise. Always pointing fingers.
Tell us one more time again. Hey, UNC massive. If you believe that we're going to win the Sandy Grande Corporation, let me hear you make some noise.
Make sure the talk is done now. Time to start back the work now. All the talk done, all the talk done. Work nation.
We fed up by these people and all the bag of lies. And everything that they're doing wrong, they're trying to disguise. Always pointing fingers, never wanna take the blame. Be frustrated now, don't want no more, and we ain't taking it again. So talk done.
Let's get to work again, time on the line.
Make
Let's get to work again, cause the country needs to shine.
Talk done. Let's get to work again. Come on, people, I know it's true.
Talk done.
Let's get to work again, cause the UNC works for you. Come on.
From there we start the engine. UNC have the plan to build a brighter future forward Green Island. Come on everybody, and you know it's true. It's time to start work again, and the UNC works for you.
Come on.
UNC massive. If you believe we're going to win the Sandy Grande Corporation, make some noise.
All these years of pressure, agony and pain, but we move with them and we cope with them and we feel the blunt of the strain.
Now we the people start crying out. We can't take it no more. So the election day when they ain't the big guys, UNC are working for.
Talk done. Let's get to work again, cause we took up time on the line.
Talk done.
Let's get to work again, cause the country needs to shine.
Talk done. Let's get to work again. Come on, people, I know it's true. Talk done. Let's get to work again, cause the UNC works for you. Come on.
From there we start the engine. UNC have the plan to build a brighter future forward Green Island. Come on everybody, and you know it's true. It's time to start work again, and the UNC works for you.
DJ, lay down. Lay down a little bit. Lay down a little bit. Right there, right there. Right there.
All the people going to win the Sandy Grande Corporation, make some noise.
Talk to them. Talk to them. Keep it low. Keep it low.
We don't talk the talk. We just walk the walk. We don't make no joke.
Katrina, tell them.
We don't talk the talk. We just walk the walk. We don't make no joke.
Engineer, pump it up, pump it up.
Talk done. Let's get to work again, cause we took up time on the line.
Talk done.
Let's get to work again, cause the country needs to shine.
Talk done. Let's get to work again. Come on, people, I know it's true.
Talk done.
Let's get to work again, cause the UNC.
UNC family, if I believe we're going to win Sandy Grande Corporation, make some noise!
Time to start back the work now. All the talk done, all the talk done. One nation!
Fed up by these disguise. Be frustrated now, don't want.
To work again, as the UNC works for you. Everybody know.
From there we start the engine. UNC have the and you know it's true. It's time to start work again, and the UNC works for you.
Hey! UNC family! It's the UNC and you're proud! Let's see you in the hand! Hey! Here we go!
All these years of pressure, agony and pain, but we work with them. That is true. We just walk the walk. We don't make no joke. And it's time to work.
Yeah, any audio?
Let's get to work again. Come on, people that know it's true. Let's get to work again.
Build a brighter future. Forward, Green Island. Come on, everybody. And you know it's true. It's time to start work again. The UNC works for you.
Sound check, check. Hearing?
Work nation! If you're UNC and proud and you believe we going to win this and the Grande Corporation, make some noise! Yeah!
Nation.
Talk done! Talk done! I make some noise for the best political leader and the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar! Talk done!
MC Biggs.
It's about creating the jobs so people can sustain themselves and their families. Are you ready to get TNT working again?
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, UNC Work Nation. And don't forget, on the 30th, it's a massive rally across Trinidad and Tobago. And we are coming east, west, north and south. Massive rally, all UNC candidates, 139. And then we're coming back to Sangre Grande for the final rally. UNC Work Nation on December 2nd. Vote for the United National Congress.
Talk done. Work Nation. Make sure the talk is done now. Time to start back the work now. All the talk done, all the talk done. Work Nation!
We fed up by these people and all the bag of lies and everything that they're doing wrong, they're trying to disguise. Always pointing fingers, never wanna take the blame. We frustrated now, don't want no more, and we ain't taking it again.
Job done, let's get to work again.